Morning, welcome back to another video. I thought come and spend the day at the yard with me today. I've just turned up here. The yard is a complete mess. It is Thursday after the bank holiday. So the bank holiday weekend, we had everyone down here, Jamie, Adam, Steve, Lewis, and they got loads of bits done. We done nothing this bank holiday, like show wise, which was really odd because it's usually every single bank holiday there is always a Welsh Cob show, which Lewis will usually take Gambler to. But this year has just gone really weird. So many shows have not been going on. So, as Lewis said, he hasn't even had Gambler out this year at all. There's usually Towlands, which happens February time. Nothing was ever spoke about that. No one said anything about why that didn't go ahead. And then there's like another Welsh show on the bank holiday Monday. We knew that one had been cancelled. They have one in May and they have one in the August bank holiday. But the May show never gets as many entries as the August one. So we knew they were cancelling the May one and just having an even bigger show in August. Okay, that's fine. But so weird having a bank holiday with nothing going on. And then one of the local shows that we usually go to, the person who ran it sadly died before Christmas. So other people are organising the show and they said it's going ahead this year, but they hadn't confirmed dates. That one hasn't happened. So we're just like at a little bit of a loss. We've had loads of Willow shows to go to, but not much of anything else. So yeah, it was so weird having a bank holiday doing nothing. But the lads got some bits done. Well, I wouldn't say tidying up. They've done odd jobs that should have tidied the place up, but they've created so much more mess in doing everything. Have to put my hair up. I don't know how these people do horses with their hair down. But yes, so we have just got here. Gonna feed these horses and see what we get up to today. Willow is now back in work since the gastric scoping for ulcers. So he is back in work. They said that he had to have about a week off, relax, and then bring him in very slowly. He's still not doing heavy schooling. We're not allowed to do too much at the moment. Vets are back out tomorrow to him to give him his 3rd injection in the 4 injection course thing. So he's still on a supplement in his breakfast and dinner as well. So yeah, I've been hacking him, doing little bits. I lunged him yesterday. I said to the vets, when should we start seeing results if this is the reason for his like lack of performance? I don't know how to put it. He performed, walked, chalked, cantered, done the shows, everything. I just didn't have that oomph from him. So they said that we might not see results until after the 4 weeks course sort of thing. If we see results at all, we don't even know if this is what was causing him to feel a bit lazy. But I lunged him yesterday and he was off his rocker. So not naughty, not bucking, rearing, that sort of thing, but bouncing around. And that's the Willow that we want, because then in the show ring I can contain that energy and get that energy put into his performance. He's never a naughty horse. He doesn't, you might get the odd buck out of him, but it's never nasty. It's out of excitement. But yeah, I'm hoping. I'm going to ride him later today. And I'm hoping if we can see some of that in the ridden. But yeah, we will see. Right, I I've got here. I've filmed this bit in the car because as soon as I open those gates, those horses will expect breakfast. So I'm going to grab my bits together, get in there, and let's give them their breakfast. So that's them all fed and settled. Currently just walking down the back field to turn the electric fencing on. Although, I don't know why I bother every day, because Willow gets out, whatever. He's got no respect whatsoever for electric fencing. But I don't want him to have the whole field, technically, just yet. Because there's just so much grass down here now. But I don't know why, just in this one field. I can't remember, it must have been about 6 weeks ago now. I reseeded the front field that we use all winter. It was like raining that weekend, so I reseeded it. It has not rained since. That grass has barely grown, but this backfield, which backs on right to the river, the grass is absolutely ridiculous. So I don't want Willow to have it all. Of course, we're also trying to watch his weight and get his weight down. But yeah, it's been a right pain and getting through the electric fence. But yeah, let's give it a go. Another day. Let's see if we can get him to stay where he's meant to stay. I honestly thought he was going to run straight through that electric fence and get out. I don't know how he's getting out because the fence is always intact when his onside is not meant to be. And we got the tool, the 5-foot fence posts, because I know my horses are twats. So I went for the taller post. So I seriously do not think he's jumping it. And I've got 4 strands of electric on that, but I don't know how he gets out. So it was just waiting and seeing. I was hoping for him to go straight through it so I could see what I needed to do, but no, that never happened. Right, we need to muck out. As I say, yard is a mess. We've got hay, straw haylage has all turned up. A load of wood has turned up because they are semi getting some jobs done. Which one was it? They fixed this fence just so Willow, of course, can go out the back there. So are getting on to some fencing, some jobs. Some logs have disappeared, yet then they've pulled more logs, tree stumps, whatever you want to call it, up from the riverside to cut up to logs. So then they can start getting that fencing redone. I haven't got a clue. My yard is a complete mess. But let me just check. He's still where he's meant to be at the moment. There. Grab the head collar before I forget that I've left it there. Yeah. So much. I don't know. So much stuff went on. Bank holiday weekend, but you know, you literally get nowhere though. But I did do this in the wash bay. I hung up my grooming box. It was usually down on the floor in that corner, but Willow likes to back up into it, rub his back legs on it, and every time he bathed a horse it was getting sopping wet inside. So I've hung it up. I'm proud of that. I'm not very good with the drill, but I found a drill that works and I hung it up and it's stable. So that all needs cleaning and everything. That is a job for later. But yeah, right. Crack on with this mucking out. Forgot I hadn't made feed, so let's get this one done before I muck out the stable. Otherwise I will forget and will come to later and I'll kick myself. Future me thanks me for making the feeds now. But Willow is on a different feed now. Of course we wanted a different feed for him to create some energy, but also because of these ulcers, the vets told me they wanted him on something different. So his Alpha oil, but we're not giving too much of it, about half a scoop in each. He is having, I'll just make his feeds. I'll make all their feeds, but some salt, oil. We talk through just his feed. Well, he has sucralfate powder twice a day in his feed at the moment as well, but I put that in of an evening. And then from in here, he's just got some Ulcer power cubes. The vet didn't say he needed to be on these, but I had these before we actually had him scoped, so I'm just finishing it, the bag, but a couple of them. And then he's now on the Ease and XL cubes, so just getting 1.5 cups of this one. But that's all he has for dinner now. He will play about with the amount of cubes when we get rid of the Ulcer cubes, but that's all the vet wants him to eat. I still think it looks a lot if we want to get his weight down, but I don't know, we still need to give him feed, don't we? But I don't know. Vet's coming Friday. I'll see what they say about the amount him being like eating, and the fact that we do want some weight off of him. So I'll see what they say. But yeah, I'm gonna make the rest of these feeds and then we will muck out. That is all the stables mucked out. I like to leave their bed up for a bit, even if it's just half an hour, to let the air get round it before I put their beds back down before I leave for the afternoon. It is a little bit later now. I went home for lunch. My friend rang me, and because I film these vlogs on my phone, I of course can't do two things at once. But Ebby's had a good brush off. Pulled her mane, I've plaited her mane, I'll show you that in a minute. Couldn't film it because I was on the phone. But now I've just brought the boys in because they're going to annoy me whilst I do this. I want to set my arena up in the front field here. This is the flattest field we've got. Of course I don't have an arena at home, but now Willow's Royal International qualifier shows are sort of coming to an end. It turns into Horse of the Year show qualifiers, and a lot of them are held at county shows where our arenas will now be on grass. So I do like to do a lot of schooling, a lot of training on grass, so he's used to it then when we go out to a show. So I did manage to put all my poles down there ready for me to make the biggest arena that I can out here. Of course, when I ride, I've got the space of everything to ride round, but then when I come to do 20-metre circles, I've got an arena to focus on to get the circle. Because at the moment when I'm riding out there and I think, right, I'll start my circle here, I look on the ground, I'm like, right, there's a dandelion, I'll start my circle, do my circle, and then I come to the end and I'm like, was that the right dandelion that I was working towards getting to? So it just gives me some sort of visual to work towards, and then we can practice dressage tests and everything, because I've got the cones in the shed with the dressage letters on, which I can bring out and work with to try and make it so I can remember a dressage test. But yeah, I'm gonna set this up now. There we have it, my little arena. The boys cut my 10-foot long posts, or whatever they were, in half, so I've got more little ones to use. So I've got the 4 corners, and then like these guttering boards, I've only got 5 of them, so I use this as A. So enter at A, proceed down the centre line to C at the bottom, which is another whiteboard, just to try and get the horses used to whiteboards at arenas, really. But I do need one more pole over here somewhere. I think I've got one at the yard, which I will bring out, but then I also still have my 3 trotting poles there that I will keep in this arena. And of course, if I do trotting pole stuff, I can use these poles, but these will technically live here all summer now. Yeah, I might have to roll them over every few days so the grass doesn't die underneath. And when the horses are turned out here, they're going to roll them, so every day I might need to straighten them up a little bit, but it's looking good. Desperate for some rain. There's no grass whatsoever. But yes, right, let's get Willow tacked up and ride him, see what he makes of our arena. He's seen that hundreds of times, he won't be fussed. But getting around that, it just gives me more of a plan. I know then if I am going straight, of course, because you're riding in an open field, trying to put that out. Walking, I thought I was going in a straight line to put the poles down, and then you look up and it's not straight at all. That's the same with riding. Unless we've got a guideline to go on, we wibble and wobble everywhere. So hopefully that will work in our favour. But yeah, I'm going to tack Willow up and bring him out. Hey, beautiful. Gorgeous boy. Look, his coat finally coming out at the front end. At the back, nothing. It is all very... It's this white fleck that needs to go. But like this bit under here... Oh, stand up straight so you can see it. This bit's starting to molt now. So it's coming. But it just looks like 2 different horses. At the front, let's do front. Perfect. Lovely. At the back, different coloured horse. We have 2 weeks, Willow. We need that coat completely gone for 2 weeks. I'm sweating. He's all brushed off. I found the other post. I took that out. It was here on the yard. I just couldn't be bothered to take them down earlier. There is another one if I feel that there's a gap that needs one. But yes, I am on this mission now to get rid of his winter coat. Front side of him looks perfect. Absolutely fine. Back side is just still got his winter coat. But I do now think... I don't like the way his winter coat looked. It just looked scruffy. And I now realise this year, didn't I? End of last year, I clipped him with the cover coat blades, so it's looks more of a natural clip. That only takes half the hair off, so I think that's why it looks so scruffy. So definitely next year, because the Royal International qualifiers earlier on this year, Mountain and Moorlands are not meant to be clipped. Everyone was clipped, and everyone had like a fresh looking clip. So I'm just gonna ditch the cover coat blades because I really don't think they were any benefit at all, and I don't like the look of the coat now. Whereas I never clipped off his legs, and they're looking that like long hair, so much healthier looking than the half cut clip basically. So that's the plan for next year. But I'm going to tack him up, get him out there. I am not going to film the warming him up. So I have had a comment on here before that I don't walk my horse, I don't warm him up. because I had just shown clips of me going trotting and cantering round. I do warm him up. I don't film it because, as I say, I film on my phone. It takes up so much storage of me walking around for like 10 minutes. I do literally walk for like 10 minutes. Walk, halt, walk, halt. Lots of bending, circles, turning. That is what I do. One day I can do a whole vlog in itself on my complete riding schooling session with Willow, but that will be one vlog on its own. So I haven't got the storage filled up with me like what I've done this morning, mucking out and the school and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna warm him up, not on camera, and then when I start doing anything that is slightly interesting, I'll turn the camera on. I do need to get him to some sort of riding level. It is Thursday. I am going to my actual riding instructor. Her lesson is on Saturday. So of course I want her to see him at what we are working at in the show ring. He's had a week off. I've been hacking, lightly schooled him day before yesterday, lunged him yesterday. So today I want to try and pick him up that little bit more, so then we can show her Sunday what we would do in a show ring. So yeah, just so she can see the best part of him basically. But yeah, I am gonna tuck him up, and I really am gonna get out in the field now. I'm just riding around calling him off now. I'm really pleased with that. I do think when I first come out though, I was exaggerating the corners a bit too much and just trying to go too deep in the corners, which made things sticky. Thinking about it, I wouldn't do that in a school. You know, if I go up my friend's school, I wouldn't make a point of going deep into the corners. So, yeah, I don't think we put this arena out last year because it was just far too wet to ride in the field. So it's been 2 years since I've done this myself. But yeah, it worked well. I could really get him listening to me and working more on straightness, because this side, down that side by the tree line, he always sort of drifts me to the fence, because we don't go right up to the fence line because there's a slight dip to the fence, and these bushes, I'll hit my head. So I do need Jamie to come along and cut some of these branches off. The neighbour has said plenty of times we can trim the bush up to the height we need it. But yeah, chainsaws are not my speciality. So I will let Jamie do that. So then we can widen it, about another 6 foot. But yeah, I'm really pleased with him. He's not the best lover of traffic, and the lorry traffic on here today seems really bad. So it must mean that there is some sort of accident on the motorway, because this is the next main road through, not using a motorway. But when the lorries come, if they hit them trees on the other side of the road, Willow's sensitive to noise, so it sort of spooks him a little bit. So working down this end of the school, he was a little bit looky, reactive and everything, but that's fine. The more we do it, the better he gets anyway. And we don't usually have as much traffic, like lorry traffic, as we have done this afternoon. But yeah, I'm just going to walk him around for a bit, cool him off, probably sponge him off, because he looks a little bit sweaty. Although it looks miserable weather, it really is quite warm. It's not hot, but it's nice, it's warm. So yeah, sponge him off. And then I would like to try and see if I can get Donut out here, even if it's for literally 5 minutes. I just want him to see it. Gambler won't be fussed, but I don't know. I don't think Donut will make anything of it. It's just poles scattered around the field. He's fine with poles. But yeah, I just want Donut to have a look at it. Even if I bring him out for a walk, I've still got to sponge him off. But look at the growth of this mane. It looks weird because we're back to front. I'll turn the camera around, but if anyone remembers this little bald patch that he had here, I thought it was because of the rugs, but even though we took like the rugs off as early as I could for it to grow back, it wasn't growing back. That's because my hands were too low. Now I still don't do it enough, because even riding around just then, there was points where I was like, oh, head up, look up, you know, hands up. So I'm still not very good at remembering to do it. But yeah, I'll turn you around so you can see it properly. But that's grown loads. Look how long it is. So I'm hoping soon we can fill in this bit of mane that is missing, so it can match all his mane up there. This is grey, so it always looks thin, big, really, really thin. I know he's got a thin mane, but where it's white, it looks fuller. Now he's getting greyer down the bottom. It makes it look even thinner than it actually is. But yeah, we do need to fill in this bit. So we are now out with Donut. He doesn't seem fussed by the poles at all, but it does emphasise the fact that he can't actually do a straight line. He is so wibbly wobbly. You expect youngsters too. I'm trying to hold him with one hand, so it makes it even worse now. But you do expect youngsters to be wobbly, but this just proves how wobbly he actually is. But yeah, he's not fussed by. You can wait, walk, thank you. He's not fussed by the poles. Good boy, walking on. Walk, walk, walk. back on. Good boy. Walk, walk. Good boy. Good. And then we got the pretty princess. I'll film her from this side today just because her nose is still healing, and of course some people won't want to see the wound, but it's healing nicely. You can look slightly this way. Yeah, it's healing nicely, but hopefully it will be nice enough for him to go to a show at the end of the month. But yeah, I've pulled a mane, plaited it all up because I need it to sit this side. There's a bit that flops onto the other side, so we're going to try and train her mane to sit this way. You can't see it in this light. There you are. Her dapples are starting to come through. And then we got the main man, Gamby. It's his day off today, so he's loving life. But his sun's in my eyes. He's loving life, doing absolutely nothing today. Hey? But if I don't show the horses, each time someone always comments, have I sold them? No, he's here. I will do, I don't know exactly what we can see because that sun's right in my eyes. Yeah, I will do a whole vlog on him soon and make him the main character in it to show you where he is, back ridden, everything. He's been a good boy, aren't you? Hopefully it won't be long before you are back out in the show ring. Louis can't wait, can he? It's been a long old winter. Last time they were out showing was Your Horse Live in November. We thought he was going to go to a show in February, but then the show just never happened. And then again, bank holiday Monday, we thought he were going, weren't we? But they cancelled that one. So I think it'd be the end of May bank holiday. Him or Ebby or both of them will be out. So we will see. But yeah, hey, he's here. Yeah, I'm going to go home and grab some dinner. So if you like what you see and want to follow along with our journey, then don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon for the next one. Bye.